So, all right, it's telling me that we're being recorded. And
Yep.
this is for pophorror.com, but also for my rinky dink little podcast.
Wade, you froze. Or is that me?
Of I Know Exactly How You Die. Pleasure to be
and
on.
that's of course it's a recent horror movie. Like, has it been released yet?
Yes, we'll be really not yet. We'll be releasing on April 7th. So depending on when it's out,
That so, as both the lead and producer on I Know Exactly How You Die, how did your perspective on the story shift between being in front of the camera and, of course, shaping it behind the scenes?
well, it's interesting. I feel like a lot of the work you do for producing like the creative stuff for this specific character, it happened a lot while we were in the pre-production phase, and like you have an idea of the character going in, you're doing all the work and everything, but once you get on set and then you start responding to your scene partners and everything, that sort of informs your the way you're crafting the character more than sort of the producing side, but it all goes together hand in hand. Once you get on set, that's when you can really sort of feel the energy and see what feels good, see what feels bad.
Sure. And uh, your character is dealing with heartbreak, like a recent breakup or something like that. And there's some creative burnout at the same time. So, what did you latch onto personally to make that struggle feel real? I know that might be a little bit of a personal question, but
Oh yeah. No, I think sort of my way into this character was the fact that he's still an artist, right? He's a writer. I'm a different kind of artist. I'm not a writer, but so I felt like at least in that way, you can relate to anybody who just wants to, create a great piece of art regardless of the reason. So that was kind of my way in. I think what was interesting about Rion in particular is that he's sort of using all of he's using his art to sort of mask all of the issues going on in his personal life, whether it's his professional life and also, dealing with the internal stuff that he's going on with his ex. So that's kind of that's sort of my way into the character. It definitely helped the fact that, we were similar in that sense in terms of like just being artists, but yeah.
sure. And the movie, it plays with the idea that writing can shape reality. So, what drew you to that concept, and how did you approach making it believable rather than gimmicky? Or do you think you succeeded in that regard?
Yeah, I think we wanted to make sure that it didn't feel like just a plot device, that there was an actual sort of story reason for that. And I think our my writer Mike Corey, he just did an amazing job sort of coming up with the concept, because originally we had a different hotel idea. We sort of like pivoted to this one. This one just made more sense for this production. So yeah.
And people often think of The Shining when they think of a hotel or motel setting, or maybe uh, Psycho. That would be another one. So, are there any homages in this
Oh yeah.
movie that
Oh yeah.
people might be able to detect?
Oh yeah. So many. I would say the first kill in the movie, it's an homage to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That movie, the original one, the first kill in that movie, there's a bit of an homage to that. It's obviously different. And even in the first scene, um, well, I guess the second scene, early on in the movie, you see Rion driving through the highway, and that's sort of an homage to The Shining. Obviously, the hotel that we're in the movie, it's also a callback to sort of The Shining, and me and Mike, like, I told him, like, when we were working on this, to just watch Scream 1, the original one, a bunch of times, just to sort of inspire himself, inspire me. And so we definitely paid homages to like the sort of classic slasher movies, but at the same time, we wanted to present something new, and we created our own spin on it.
Yeah, you don't really want to be all homage or
Exactly.
whatever, because then that will seem too much like just a gimmick. I
Oh
suppose
yeah.
unless I know some movies that's what they go for, but it seems like this one is going for something different than
Yeah,
that.
we wanted to definitely go after something original, but at the same time, there's certain things you can honor about the past that we felt really fit the story well.
Yeah. And so the motel setting feels like a character in itself. So how important was that environment to the story, and did you consider doing other environments for the story?
So it the fact that you said the hotel felt like a character feels like it that made my entire day because in when we were in like the script phase for the movie, like one of the things Mike and me were always like focusing on, I like was telling him like, hey, let's try to make this hotel feel like just as much of a person as everybody else, like in the story too. And we definitely, I think we managed to do that for sure. There was another hotel location we were also looking at, but this one just felt better. This hotel, it doesn't even exist anymore. The place we shot it at. So it was like really run down, grimy, and it added just a lot of texture to the movie that we were exactly looking for. And even when we were on set, everybody stayed at that hotel, and so being sort of in that like one environment felt a little claustrophobic. You're dealing with the elements. It was like winter, so all of that kind of translated on screen, and it just helped to shoot more. It was like we were sort of we were in the story itself.
And I think, most people out there, if they've ever traveled, they probably have stayed in a hotel or a motel, and they can probably relate that and with the idea that you can meet any number of crazy people at a place like that, and any
Oh,
number of things could happen. And that's sort of part of the, I guess, the fear-based element in the story.
yeah, definitely. I think like you said, it's a hotel, so there's all kinds of people, good, bad, like so we kind of wanted to explore that reality as well in the movie. Like all these different people, they all have different desires, different motivations, and similarly, that is like how a hotel is in real life. There's people from all over the world, and you have no idea what any of them are like. And it just it helps with the chemistry a lot. Every one of the actors were so committed, so it really helped.
Yeah, will you have a pleasant stay, or could you end up in an episode of Forensic Files or something like that, like on one of those shows? I mean, it's like a roll of the dice, I suppose.
Oh yeah, I mean there was actually an incident on one of the shoot days because we had somebody who was they were like stalking the set, and like we had to call the authorities and like make sure everything was okay, and like it was like the stalker in real life was like came out and was like stalking the movie.
Well, that's interesting because the movie itself has a pretty prominent stalking theme
Oh
as
yeah.
a so that's like,
Yeah, it
I
was a
guess,
sort of
life
like a
imitating art in a
it was
way.
yeah, and like this is a meta movie too. So it all felt like a lightning in a bottle.
So there's a strong psychological layer in this movie. So did you see it as a horror story, a thriller, or a character study while you were making it? Or I'm sure it could have been a combination thereof.
So they say that there's always, whenever you're making a movie, there's three versions. There's the version you write, there's the version you shoot, and then there's the version that you edit. And all three of those movies can be totally different. And I think that applies to this movie too. When we were shooting, when we were in this sort of pre-production phase, the script phase, we were like, oh yeah, this is a horror comedy. Then once we got on set, we're like, oh wait, this is more of a black comedy. There's some psychological elements. And then once we're in the edit, I think the movie, it came to the best version that it is. And so it was constantly like sort of changing, but there was a vision, like a certain end goal we wanted to hit that we did.
Yeah, I would say that the comedy doesn't feel forced in the story myself. It
Yeah,
feels natural to the characters.
yeah, and I think that was one of those things that in playing this character, I wanted to make sure that like the humor wouldn't tonally clash with the horror and the dramatic parts, and it had to sort of feel thematically appropriate. Like you don't want a joke to happen in when a moment is super super intense, or all of the moments of levity, or the moments that aren't as intense. You want everything to serve the story, and that was always in mind. And I think we basically figuring out that tightrope of, hey, don't go too far with the comedy, pull it back here or play it up more here. That was a really fun challenge.
Yeah, I could see that. So as a producer and an actor, what was the biggest challenge in getting the project from script to screen?
Oh, money. Money is always, it's always the, it's the it's the most boring answer, but it's true. Just basically finding, just you have to basically cast the widest possible net you can in terms of financing. And I feel like you just have to be okay with people saying no because they're going to say no 90% of the time. And then as far as yeah, and then as far as like the creative stuff, I think just basically being able to juggle like wearing all these multiple hats at one time, wearing a producer hat, wearing an actor's hat. That was something that was it was a really fun challenge too.
And you also have to wear an interview subject hat too. So that's another layer to the experience.
Yeah, and it's cool. It's this is you don't get taught this stuff in film school or drama school like you know so I think like when you really go through the ringer of of making a movie, regardless of whether it's a studio budget, whether it's an independent movie, micro budget, like whatever, you will learn so much more than when you're in a classroom setting. It just prepares you in a way because you get thrown stuff that you there's just no way it can be taught in the classroom because random situations just come up.
So Katie is another main character in the story, basically. So, what are your thoughts on that character and what she brings to the story?
Oh, she's my favorite character personally in the movie. I think the performance is amazing. It was really cool working with Steph. You learn a lot working with actresses and actors that are just like that on that level. So it was a cool experience. I think she brought a lot of vulnerability to the role, but a lot of strength at the same time. And I think there's so much nuance there. Like it, the, she made Katie into a totally whole person. Like she's fully fleshed out and everything. And just that helps when you're on set because you're able to respond to that and you can feed off that. And it just helps your character as well.
And this might be the final question here. I mean, let's see. Oh, after audiences watch, I know exactly how you die. What's the one feeling or question you hope that sticks with them
I
after
want,
they?
I want them to come out of the movie feeling like, fuck yeah, I can't wait to rewatch that. Pardon my French.
That's all
I,
right.
I just felt like the slasher genre is just so invigorating when done properly, and it sort of feels like an adventure or like a party. So I want people to come away when they watch this being like, oh yeah, I can't wait to show this to my buddy on Friday night. Like this is the movie. I want people to come away feeling like we honor those old slasher movies while completely spinning it and doing our own thing.
All right. Well, I think that about does it. I don't know how long we've been talking, but it must be like 15 minutes or so.
It's been about 10.
Oh, only 10?
Hmm.
Oh, well, I whipped through those questions, I guess. That's faster than normal. Sorry if it felt like an assembly line, but
No, 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 no. That was cool. This is my first time sort of like doing like a whole media circuit and everything. So it's a
okay.
really cool experience.
Yeah, I guess if you, do you have anything you want to add?
No, I mean, if do you have any other questions?
Um, Actually, I don't really offhand. I mean, I can say that you look different with a beard for
Oh yeah.
sure, like with facial hair. Yeah, you're I almost didn't recognize you at first after watching the movie, but you know,
Oh, I'll take that as a compliment.
yeah. Well, all right. I guess that's it. Go ahead and check out the movie if you're interested, and you know, I enjoyed talking to you and meeting you, and maybe we'll see a future movie
Definitely,
that you're
definitely.
involved in as well.
Appreciate it, Wade. Thank you for the
Yep.
time.
All right. And he's going to send me this file when we're done.
Yep.
All right.
I did freeze for a second at the beginning. Hopefully that doesn't cause any issues, but it was like 10 seconds. It wasn't like a long thing.
Okay. Did you stop recording?
I don't know if it stopped recording. I just know I was frozen for about 10 seconds.
Hmm.
But it was only like
Okay.
it was
I think
very
we're
brief.
fine because I still see the meeting as being recorded notification on the
Okay.
Yeah, no, the
Yeah,
recording kept going. I just don't know if
yeah,
the
you might want to
recording.
hit the stop button on that.